Welcome back, my beautiful book lovers. The smile on my face says it all. Today, I'm going to be talking about romantic fantasy books to make you weep like a little baby. I absolutely love a book that makes me cry. It always holds a special place in my heart. If it can make me cry, that's an automatic 5-star read. And if you're like me, which I'm assuming you are because you clicked on this video, then you definitely love a book to cry for. So let's get into it. And sorry in advance for all the pain, ladies. I feel like people who love books that make them cry are the same people that keep rewatching the Titanic and hoping it doesn't end the way it always ends, because that is me. Also, the people that loved Kingdom of Ash. I wouldn't change a thing about Kingdom of Ash, even though it ripped out my heart and stomped on it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you probably haven't read all of Throne of Glass yet. And just start there, ladies. That series will have you crying, like weeping in your sleep. But we aren't talking about Throne of Glass today. I've got a lineup of books that many of them you might not have even heard of because they are severely underrated. But if they don't make you cry, they at least should make you feel. They should put you in your feelings. And if they don't, then maybe talk to your therapist. That's a conversation for you and them. I'm kidding. I'm not, maybe. But let's jump into it. First up, we have The Scattered Bones. This is a standalone romantic fantasy, ladies, and this one will put you in your feelings. This one was poetic and beautifully written. It's definitely like sad. This is not an epic, fun story. This is definitely just like sad and poetic throughout the whole time. Like the whole time you're just aching for the FMC. The title in itself describes the book to a T. The FMC in this is literally traveling around the world, collecting her dead lover's scattered bones that have been scattered across the world. And she's doing so while undergoing like these really intense trials to get them. Okay. She just wants to have her lover at peace. All the while, you're getting flashbacks to how they fell in love, which it was a forbidden love, ladies, and a beautifully forbidden love. And then also, you get to see how he died. I'm not spoiling anything about this book, but all I'm going to say is it is beautiful. It will have you weeping, and it will definitely have you in your feelings. Okay. This one is just, it is beautiful. It's slower paced, but it is poetic. So if you like Rachel Gillig's poeticness to her writing, I think you'll love this one. And I hope it gets you in your feelings because it got me in mine. Peaches and Honey, don't let the name throw you off, okay? It threw me off and had me put this on my TBR, but never looking at it for like over a year, you guys. And that was criminal of me. It was criminal because this duology is beautiful. Like it follows an FMC who eats this peach and it grants her immortality. But this also has a love story woven into it that is like I will love you for centuries, ladies. It is patient, it is kind, it is beautiful, and it does have a poeticness to the writing as well. Now this one does intertwine some like historical elements into it, and that is where the emotion really hits in book one. The FMC sees like tragedy after tragedy in the real world. It's like her spanning over the centuries since she's immortal, and she's always at like the forefront of all these epic world tragedies like world wars, and she's always helping and she's on the front lines and she's trying to help humanity, and there's just always another battle as you can see throughout history. So you get these glimpses into some of humanity's worst times, and I think that it was beautifully done with that kind of just like as like the backdrop, and then on the forefront you have this love story between these two immortals, and they keep going through decades without seeing each other, and then they see each other and it's like a slow burn, and it's just a beautiful love story that really just builds, and it's built upon these tragic stories of human history. And if that doesn't intrigue you, I don't know, but it's poetic and it's beautiful, and it's a duology, so pick it up and give it a try. Now, a hard hitter, Bones. Bones, Bones, Bones. Bones holds a special place in my heart because this book won the most tears of 2025 for me. This book had me weeping like a small child. I went into a state of mourning after reading Bones. And then I read book 2, Fangs, and throughout book 2, I continued to mourn. But that is the beautiful part about this book. It seriously hurts. But the writing is incredible. It's more of a dystopian romance, but I think that we can say that the Romantasy girls love dystopian, and I think that's a fact. So we're putting it in here. It is severely underrated, and it's only got the first 2 books out of the series right now, but it's building into something really epic. I can feel it just on the way the plot went. Book 1 is very character driven, and it follows Bones, who's this female who's been severely, severely mistreated her whole life. She was part of this abusive crew, and then she ends up escaping and she meets this new crew, and there's this found family aspect of it, and there's sweet, sweet, sweet baby Trey, who is like a golden retriever and is just so sent on healing her. And I think the healing throughout this story is really what drives the emotional punch. Like, so much of the storyline is centered around healing, and I think the author really depicts that beautifully because she does not rush that. I find what bothers me in a lot of romantic fantasies is when something really traumatic happens and characters move on really quickly from it. That annoys me. This is one of those books that does not do that. The character can take 2 steps forward in her healing and then 3 steps back, just like we do, okay? No one heals and then automatically is perfect. This is one of those books that depicts that really well and in a very realistic way. Even her grieving is done so well. There's moments where her grief feels so real and relatable, and I think that's what makes this one so emotional. And I mean, it had me bawling my eyes out. Legit red-eyed, puffy-eyed tears, like ugly crying. So this one's definitely for the girls that want to cry. The Everlasting is one of the most unique books I've ever read. I read it at the start of this year, and it is a standalone, ladies, but it also will get you in your feelings. This one follows a knight and a scholar, and it also has time travel kind of interwoven in it. So hang on in there, because time travel shit, it gets confusing, let's be honest. At the beginning of this book, a lot of people express like being like, what the fuck is going on here? I felt that for the first few chapters as well, and then things fall into place and you go, oh wow, I am reading a book. I'm reading a book that has put a lot of thought into it and is written incredibly. This is a masterpiece to me, and it also will draw some tears from your eyes because you want the scholar and the knight to just, you want them to succeed. You are rooting for them so much because their love is so pure and it's so damaged, and it's so like, I will love you across any lifetimes. But I'm not going to spoil anything for you guys, so that's all I'll say on that. But the scholar is the MMC in this, and the knight is the FMC, and I find their relationship is so beautiful. It's not your typical broody, muscular MMC. This time he's the one that's like this nerdy, cute little scholar, and then you've got your FMC who's like this badass female. So that switch in dynamics I thought was super fun, and then it's got this emotional element because it's again, it's an I would love you across any lifetimes, and in their love story, it's gonna hurt your heart in a good way. Definitely pick this one up. It's a standalone, it's beautiful, and it also has a poeticness to it in its writing style as well. I think that poetry and pain, I guess, go hand in hand is the moral of the story, because it seems like a lot of books that will make you cry are also written kind of poetically. But The Everlasting, it was incredible. It's a 6-star goddamn masterpiece. The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig is another 6-star goddamn masterpiece, and it was one I did not expect it to make me cry like it did, okay? This one also had me sobbing like a small child once again. It is beautiful. The first book is out now. The second book is one of my most anticipated upcoming reads and will be released, I believe, in 2026 here. And this is a duology again. Rachel Gillig is the master of gothic romantasy, and this one is like gothic mixed with medieval time. This follows Sybil, who is a diviner. She goes by the name of Six, and she doesn't remember her name at the beginning. There's these 6 diviners, and they basically continue to get drowned. Yes, legit drowned in like this puddle, and they tell you prophecies, and that's basically the sham of it. And you're like, what the fuck? Is that really what's going on here? So the king comes for his prophecy from the diviner. So of course they use Six, who's like the best of them all. They have a bunch of knights with them, including this one very tall, sexy knight that Six can't help but notice. But anyways, things go awry when a bunch of the diviners start going missing, and Six is like, these are like my sisters, these are my girls. So what does she do? She busts out of there. She teams up with the knight, the king, and her lovely gargoyle to go on a quest to find the other diviners. And this quest is just done wonderfully. It will keep you on the edge of your seat. It'll keep you turning pages. You're wanting to find these diviners and also piece together the mystery elements of what the hell is going on here. What is the point of the diviners in the first place? And then along for the ride, you have a brewing romance between the knight and the moth. Of course, the knight and the moth, as the title would go. The knight and Six, who is the moth. And then the gargoyle throughout this is hilarious. He's going to make you laugh, and he's going to make you cry. And that's the moral of the story. Okay, he will get the most laughs from you and the most tears from you. and it's just a story done so well. This is another 6-star goddamn masterpiece to me. This book holds a special place in my heart because it is written so well, and Rachel Gillig just has this poeticness to her writing. Once again, poetry and tears go hand in hand. If it's a poetic piece of writing, it's an emotional piece of writing. Rachel Gillig writes beautifully. If you haven't read her work yet, start with One Dark Window, do the Shepherd King duology first, and then dive into The Night and the Moth, because her next book is coming out, and again, everything she writes is perfection, and I cannot wait for the next book. But this book, it's going to get some tears, and I can guarantee it, okay? So hang in there, read it, and weep. Literally. Daggermouth, this is one of my most recent reads, and it was another 6-star goddamn smash. Absolutely beautifully done. Okay, this is an indie author that I believe is going to go traditionally published because this book was so freaking good. It is absolutely blown up, and for good goddamn reason. It is beautifully written, and the storyline is so compelling. Now, this is a dystopian done right, but what did I say earlier, girls? If you're in it for romantasy, I think you're also a dystopian girl, okay? And this is a dystopian romance, and it's done so well. Okay? It follows multiple characters, which I didn't expect. I thought that it was going to just follow the one love story, but there's also another love story in this that's just as compelling, and you're going to be rooting for these couples so damn hard. But you have the Daggermouths, who are basically like in the rebel side of things, and that's where your main FMC is coming from, and she's on a mission to kill like the son of basically the president of this very corrupt world. She's like, I'm gonna go kill him. He's the executioner. He's like the cause of so much pain. She truly hates him. So this is a true enemies to lovers situation. That thing goes awry, and then she ends up, because of some specific circumstances, in an arranged marriage with the guy that she set out to assassinate. This is truly a hate to love situation. They legit tried to kill each other. They legit shoot each other multiple times. They go at it, literally, and it is done so well. Like, there's somehow tension while she's shooting him in the shoulder. I don't know how this author did that. It's beautifully done. And then you have another romance in it that's a bit more tender, and this has been one that has been like brewing since they were children, like growing up together in this corrupt world. This is with your MMC's sister and his best friend, and oh my god, that one is so beautiful. I didn't expect it to be so centered in the story, and I didn't expect me to root so hard for those characters. And then the end of this book took me for a whirl. I didn't expect her to do what she did, and I respect it, and I hate it, and it hurt me, and I didn't expect this book to make me cry. I expected it to infuriate me in a good way. I expected it to have a lot of attention. I expected it to be action-packed, and check. It did all those things. I did not expect it to make me cry, and I was pleasantly and painfully surprised when it did. But moral of the story, Daggermouth is a goddamn masterpiece, and you definitely should pick it up because it is worth the hype, and it needs more and more hype. And I love that it's trending right now because it 100% deserves it. Definitely pick this up. Now that you're fully stacked of books to make you cry yourself a river, ladies, go out there, pick them up and read, and let me know in the comments if you've read any of these. And if you have, did they get you in your feelings? Did they get you emotional? Did they make you cry? Because I hope they did. And I mean that in the greatest of ways, okay? Because we love when a book makes us cry. It's just part of the reading enjoyment is to mix in a little bit of pain. Let me know in the comments what's a book that has made you cry, because I'm always on the look for some more, and I'll be back next week because I'm back every week, baby, with Rex on Rex on Rex.